Hey folks, my guest today is Saurav Gupta. He's an electrical engineer by training, but he found his way into the world of startups pretty early on. Started an AI company focused on automated video surveillance that crashed and burned, but he's taken all those learnings to launch SendZilla, a bootstrapped profitable leader in the outreach automation space. Saurav, are you ready to take us to the top?
Let's go.
All right. What niche are you serving, or is there a platform you're focused on?
Yeah, so we focus on LinkedIn, and we help salespeople, digital marketing agencies, solopreneurs get more out of LinkedIn, right? Get leads out of LinkedIn on autopilot. So we help them automate outreach to their target audience on LinkedIn and just get leads on autopilot.
And last time we spoke back in, July or August of last year, you had just broken 80 customers. How many are you at today?
We're about 120.
120. Where'd the customer growth come from? How'd you get more customers?
Mhm. So yeah, as I said, it's been more of the same. We're using our own tool to sell our own tool, still in the same outbound sales motion, just on LinkedIn. We added a little bit of email outbound as well, but that hasn't really worked so far because it sort of reinforced the thesis that we had, that like email outreach is just getting harder and harder. Like emails go to spam all the time, and a lot of people are doing email outreach. So most of our customers have come from just cold LinkedIn outreach,
Hmm.
to a strictly defined set of
You told me your
target market.
ratio last time was you needed to set about 50 meetings to get five new customers. Is that still what it's about a 10% close rate? Is that still the close rate you see today?
Yeah, slightly higher, about 12, but yeah, like we haven't seen much improvement in that area yet.
Okay. So to close the 40 new customers that you got over the past 4 months, you had to do about 450 phone calls or demos.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty relatively untargeted. So I'm sure, I mean, this is something that we're looking to improve. Like we've definitely invested in like a bunch of things, like just meeting call recording tools, making sure that everything is being recorded. But now we're sort of trying to see whether to put in place a better qualification, criteria. Like now we know what kind of people close, right? Now we have a much more strictly defined ICP. So 2022 is going to be all about like doing less but getting more out of it, right? Like 10% close rate, I'm sure, can be improved. We ideally want to be anywhere between 20 to 30, which is the, like a 25% close rate is good. We want to be there. So we've taken all the learnings of what kind of customer has closed, and we're now applying it to, get better meetings essentially.
And what is revenue today, monthly revenue?
It's about 38K.
38,000. Now, where's the extra juice coming from? Because you told me that customers pay on average 150 bucks a month, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if we multiply 150 bucks a month times 120 customers, that's just 18,000 bucks a month in revenue, but you're getting 20,000 bucks more from somewhere else.
Yeah. So we have some customers who've expanded significantly. So we definitely have a land and expand type motion. So that average has gone up because, as I said, we charge based on number of LinkedIn accounts, right? So, for example, we have one customer that has even like 400 LinkedIn accounts on the platform,
Is
right?
that your biggest
So
customer?
yeah, that's our biggest
What
customer,
do they
and
pay
they
per month?
so their total ACV, their total ARR for MRR for us is about 11K. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's a
like
big
it's
chunk of
pretty
your business
significant.
then.
Yeah. It's definitely, something of a risk as well. So we are looking at getting more lookalike customers like them, using them as a case study, and going more into that enterprises motion of 100K ACV plus deals.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now, imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your FounderPath dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right. So the teal is what a VC would pay, yellow is what private equity, and red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise, they sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of FounderPath, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview.
As well as trying to go more mid-market as well. So we're now maturing more as a company where we're trying to figure out how do you expand existing accounts? Like we're hiring a customer success representative right now, building out a customer success function, as well as, building out a proper senior leadership inside the sales team.
When we talked back in August, you were doing $25,000 a month in revenue. You told me your total expenses were about $15,000 a month. So you're profiting $10,000 per month. Do you still have profits today? Are you reinvesting more aggressively?
Still profitable. We're spending about $20,000 now monthly, okay, and rest is profit.
Yep. Well, 20,000 minus the 38,000 of top line revenue, you're still profiting about $18,000, something like that.
Yeah.
Where are you making investments? You mentioned a new hire. What's the total team size today, full time?
So we basically had to let a couple of salespeople go because they were not sort of hitting quota.
But what was their quota?
So we wanted something very simple. Like they were just not performing at all. We just wanted 1x of their salary, right? We had not set a crazy quota like a 5x.
Which would have been what? What would 1x be?
1x is about like $1,000 in new MRR every month.
Got it. So about $150,000 in new ARR closed per year.
Yeah.
And they weren't hitting that.
No, they weren't getting there. So we basically had to, there were other people who were doing it within the same team with the same process. So I think it was more of a fit problem rather than a process problem. So we had to let a couple of people go. But now we're investing more into marketing, right? Because what we've realized is that with outbound, it's like a treadmill, right? Like you have to do a certain amount of activity every day to get to the same number of meetings, right? Qualified meetings, versus if you can do good work around SEO, around creating good content, around just creating more of a brand on social and stuff like that, then it's less of a, the content lives on for longer and you keep getting traffic. Of course, it takes.
What is the total team size today?
Total after this new hire, we are around 3 in sales, 3 in marketing, and 4 engineers total now. So total of 10.
10.
Including me.
So you added 3 new engineers over the past couple of months, and you decreased your sales team by 1 or 2 because they were underperforming. Yeah. But you mentioned also you've de-risked your sales process, I believe, right? Because you pay a very low base of $800 per month, and then they can earn 10% commissions forever. Are you still using that model?
We capped it to 1 year. So we're now paying out the 1 year, right? Because we thought if it's forever, then it's not fair, right? Because that forever should be attributed more to the hard work that the engineering team and the support team are doing, not just the sales team. So we capped it to 1 year.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense. Any other changes like that you've made?
Process changes, yes. So our salespeople were completely full cycle. SDR, motion, plus doing demos like an AE, doing discovery and stuff. And then doing account management, they were responsible for everything. So it was a proper full cycle model. We realized too much, it's too much to ask anyone to do. So we are bringing in an account manager, a customer success manager, Like after the first dollar is earned, the CSM will take over and make sure that that book of business expands by X% every year, right? So we are making that change as well.
Very cool. And you mentioned investing in SEO. Are you doing this yourself or are you hiring a firm or agency to work with?
A couple of agencies actually.
Which agency is the best that you're working with?
We have this guy called Asif from Content Handy. They recently launched. They used to work with other companies in similar spaces as ours, so they've got some good experience there. So that's who we're working with.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So Content Handy, you're an engineer yourself. You said you hired three other engineers. Where'd you find the three new engineers?
I have a network here in India. Like I went to a very good engineering school here in India called IIT. So we've definitely got
Not
some.
very good. That's like the best. There's many graduates of that school that are now running billion-dollar SaaS companies.
Yeah, I mean, I've got big shoes to fill for sure.
Yes, that's right.
Definitely, yeah. So we basically had a little bit of network. So some came from that. Others we just advertise on local job portals like LinkedIn. Like there's one in India that's coming up called Hirect. So we got some good engineers out of that.
Rob, how do you make sure LinkedIn doesn't shut you down tomorrow? Is what you're doing legal?
So yeah, that's a good question. With legal, LinkedIn had this court case with another automation company, and they did lose that in the Texas High Court, but it went to the US Supreme Court, and they basically referred the decision back to the lower court. So what LinkedIn claims is that doing this is a violation of the CFAA, the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, while the courts have ruled that it's not, right. It's the user's data, and they can do what they see fit with it. So that's the contention there. So it's still under sort of it's still sort of sub judice in that sense. So I mean, of course, LinkedIn doesn't like us, and they try to put different kinds of restrictions technically to make sure that the users are not able to automate. But I think the larger point here is that web scraping will always be something that is that is questionable. Like it's just the nature of the game, and it's just something we've chosen to do for now.
All right. So Rob, on that note, let's wrap up here with the famous five. Number one, favorite business book.
I said last time is the Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. Still is. I haven't.
All right.
changed
And is
that
your favorite CEO still Girish from Freshworks?
No, actually, I've been studying some other CEOs. I loved Zeb. You're a fan of Zeb. I think I saw a lot of it in your emails. He's taken a super crowded market and done something very impressive with it. So Zeb is someone I'm following right now.
Zeb Evans at ClickUp. Yep, he'll be speaking at FounderConf in March in New York City. Actually, we're getting 250 SaaS founders together with more than $5 million in revenue. It's going to be a special event. Number three, Saurav, what's your favorite online tool for building Senzilla?
As the charge is pretty good, as I said, yeah, it's pretty sort of makes it very easy for me to do a
You're
lot
consistent.
of
You're consistent. Number four, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Pretty good, 7 to 8.
Okay.
No trouble in that department.
And did you have a birthday? Are you 29 now or still 28?
I am 29. I had my birthday in October 12th. Yeah.
Happy late birthday. And are you still not married? No kids?
Not married, new girlfriend. So yeah.
New girlfriend, new age, new sales reps here, a new man in 2022, huh?
yeah. New beard as well. New shades.
Beard.
So, yeah.
I love that. All right, wrap up. Take us home here. What's something you wish you knew when you were 20?
Like one of the things that now I'm thinking of, like it's good to take a long view as well, right? Like I said last time that even if it's a crowded space, you can still build $2 to $3 million business, and that's fine. That's great. But I think sometimes you just have to get like creativity will trump capital a lot of times, right? Like if you get really creative, then even if it's a super crowded space, it's not just about building $2 to $3 million business. You can even build, like, look at what GM has done at Lemlist, right? Totally crowded space, 2,000, 3,000 competitors, but he built a amazing business out of it, right? Like with no capital raise, just pure creativity. So the answer, like what I would say is just believe in yourself and believe in your creativity. You're going to get there.
Guys, Senzilla.com, based out of India. Saurav launched back in 2020, now doing $38,000 a month in revenue, scaling nicely, completely bootstrapped, 120 customers. They're also profitable, $18,000 a month going to the bottom line, added 40 customers over the past 4 months. Team of 10 now, 4 engineers, 3 sales reps with a quota equal right now to 1x their salary as he figures out the sales motion and looks to scale using creativity, not capital. Saurav, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you, man. Always great to be here.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, three hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.